Hey, what's up, everybody? Chris Graham here, joined by Ben Carswell, Christian Jasper, James Watson, Jason Owens, Mike McCullen, in what will be the tightest six-man ship ever to row the high seas or something. Welcome to Pizza at the Pagoda. We're going to review the Firestone Grand Prix of Monterey from WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca. Talk about the championship scenarios that basically don't exist going into the finale next week at Long Beach. Maybe we'll try to keep this one in an hour for you folks. We'll see if we're any good at our jobs. Actually, judging by our picks from last week, I know we're not good at our jobs, but that doesn't matter. We'll start with Mike McCullen. What are you drinking tonight?
I'm just drinking a Sam Adams Oktoberfest.
That's kind of disappointing. Jason Owens.
I'm sorry.
Jason, what do you have?
I have a nice Italian Sauvignon Blanc from the Veneto region.
It seems like you and Mike should be flipped.
I was going to say, that's a role reversal.
I'm the wine and cheese guy.
I feel like my rent's due early from listening to that.
James, what do you have in front of you?
Mountain Dew, Baja Blast.
Taco Bell.
Hey.
King Taco.
Only the best.
Yes. Christian, what do you have in front of your gullet there?
We got hot chocolate tonight. I had a real bad craving. My sweet tooth was kicking.
You know what? I'm doing the exact same thing. I've got a big old glass of sweet tea here in front of me. Ben, what do you have?
I have a local beer from a brewery not too far away, from Basic City Brewing Company. I have a nice Pilsner.
A Pilsner?
Yeah, nice and easy.
They say Miller Lite's a fine Pilsner beer. I'm not sure that I agree with them on that.
I disagree with them as well.
All right. Let's talk Laguna Seca here, because I love this place. It is everything that you would want a racetrack to be. Picturesque scenery, perfect weather, an 8-story fall off the side of a building in 5.5 seconds. I think Colton Herta sucks up the show. What do we let's get the obligatory Colton Herta talk out of the way here early. Dominant, led 90 some laps.
Listen. Brian Herta's dad's son did fantastic.
Wait,
he was great.
Wouldn't Brian Herta's dad's son be Brian Herta?
Well, he did a good job too.
I mean, how could you not do a good job when you've got Carlton on your pit box?
Andre?
Yeah, Andre Rivera?
Man.
Hey, it's not unusual to see a Herta win at Laguna Seca, all right?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
This might actually be a short show.
Whoever said that on the NBC broadcast called Alfonso Ribeiro Andre. I don't know who it was down there in the pit.
That was Kevin Lee. We'll pick on him a little.
Shame on Kevin Lee. Shame.
Says the guy who
just called him
Caven.
Lord,
well, you know what? That's karma.
Is that the most that he's been on TV in like 15 years?
Don't disrespect the host of America's Funniest Home Videos.
Oh, that's
I forgot he had that big.
Yeah. Yes.
On
okay.
the peak of your career right there.
Oh, that's... yeah. Okay, so back to Colton Herta. Kid's good.
he's a real deal.
Yeah, he might be around for a while.
I'm hoping so.
He's got a future around here.
Maybe, if he shows us something. Yes, Colton Herta was the last winner at Laguna Seca. Our esteemed panel of experts completely ignored him in making our picks for the race. And he went out and led, let's see.
Wasn't it like every lap except for one?
No, it was not everyone but one. Actually, the next guy we're going to talk about was the only other one to lead a lap. Colton Herta led from 1 to 19. Romain Grosjean led from 19 to 20. Herta led from 20 to 69.
Nice.
Grosjean led until lap 72, and then Herta led to the end. So total of 91 laps led for Colton Herta, 4 for Romain Grosjean. That dude was an animal.
Yeah, he had some strategy and some aggression.
Man,
I think aggression is an understatement.
my man has some twinkles going in that shit. He was putting that car in places it should not have been. And really, everybody was. Like, just from who was leading the race and then who won it, it doesn't sound that exciting, but oh my God, what a race.
Yeah, if you discount Herta at the front going off and doing his own thing, doing a little bit of bunny murder, and you just completely ignore everything that he was doing at the front, holy shit, it was spicy the entire way back through the field, repeatedly.
I mean, let's call it like it is. They were having orgasms over Alex Zanardi's pass 25 years ago, and we saw that, I don't know, every third lap on Sunday.
We really did.
An illegal pass, too.
I don't know that Grosjean's on Jimmy Johnson was exactly legal.
No.
He was airborne. He was fully airborne.
See, I still think that Jimmy turned into him.
A little bit, but you can't throw it in from 5 car lengths back and not, like, you're initiating the contact at that point. Like, you're not even in the cone of danger. Like, the cone of danger doesn't exist when you're that far back. Maybe he should have gotten a drive-through or, maybe, but it made for great TV. I'm here for it. Let's do more of it.
Can we say race control got it right? We've given them a lot of shit this year.
I think they did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the Verstappen-Hamilton, cottage industry would have loved for there to be a penalty there, but I think IndyCar got it right.
Absolutely. I agree fully.
Yes.
I mean, why do we build sturdier cars if we're not going to run them into each other?
That's a fair
I'm being
point.
serious. Like, we're building these sturdy cars. Like, let's have a little bit of contact. It's fun. It's cool.
I think Ericsson doing his little stunt in Nashville may have emboldened them a little bit, the field as a whole. Because if he could survive that, there has to be a little bit of, I can get away with that shit too going on in the past.
Not just survive and win the bitch.
Yes.
Right.
But there was also some strategy in that. There was also some Herta put it into the tires in that. That was I don't know if you put that one through the simulator again, you'd come out with the exact same results.
Only one way to find out.
And only one way to find out, and I'm going to be there next year. So,
yeah, let's see what happens next year. I think that was truly a chaos monkey race, and I don't know if we'll ever see something like that again, where you've got 20 plus guys on a track that they've all never seen before doing some stupid shit. So they're going to rework that track next year. They're going to know how to drive it. It'll probably show up in a simulator and be a little more accurate. And I don't know if you'll see that again. But the point still stands. He got the thing 4 wheels off the ground, landed the damn thing. I think pitted for to check damage. They're like, nope, you're good. And he wins the damn thing. So yeah, these things are tanks.
I will say this. Not only is Grosjean, was he impressive on Sunday, he absolutely nailed the socials today too. Jimmy Johnson posted the picture that from the top of the corkscrew, and it says trade helmets on Friday, trade paint on Sunday. Grosjean replies with just a French kiss, my brother.
I think Jimmy Johnson was legitimately surprised that Grosjean just drove into the side of him. I mean, even in his interview, he was just like, the hell?
The spotter in his ear.
He expected a follow. He expected it the following lap. I'm pretty sure, but Grosjean was so far back to send it, and they're like, Jimmy, put up a fight when he gets here. He didn't have a chance to put up a fight because Grosjean threw it in from half a football field back.
I'm betting that DCR relayed to him that Jimmy Johnson was told to make his life difficult. So
yeah, Jimmy had to have been like, well, I made it difficult for him.
Yeah. One way or another. One way or another, it was difficult. By the way, Paul Tracy's comment underneath it says "Fast and the Furious 48."
Lord.
He jokes what there probably is going to be.
I was just going to say.
Anyone hear the shot that, and I don't remember which broadcaster got it in there, that Jimmy's 2 years away from his car number and age?
That's so ugly.
Oh, man.
That's cold.
That's kind of dickish.
That's when you need to change the number to 18.
How about this one? An empty penalty summary. When's the last time we saw that in an IndyCar race?
That's
really nobody got a speeding penalty.
The penalty summary is blank on the timing and scoring report.
IndyCar probably forgot to publish it.
Yeah, I swear somebody got a drive-through for speeding up pit lane.
No, IndyCar is listening to our podcast. We've been talking about driving standards. What do they do after we talk about driving standards? There's no penalties. We are making a difference. We know what we're doing.
You know who isn't listening? Felix Rosenquist.
Oh,
Or Takuma Sato.
Speaking of your pick for potato of the week, Ben.
Yeah.
Sato was that man was on a mission. He was on a mission from God somewhere.
I don't know what that mission was.
The mission is to completely invert the last 2 decades of Scott Dixon's luck in like 2 races.
Yeah, I mean it did knock Dixon to 4th in the points. And it's basically a 2-horse show. If Palou starts the race, Newgarden, I'll say this way, Palou has to finish last in order for Newgarden to have a shot next week.
Both of them have to finish. Does he even have a mathematical shot?
Yes. There are 54 points on offer, and Newgarden is, I believe, 48 back. So
if Newgarden wins and Palou and O'Ward steer into each other on the pace lap.
If they both finish last, he wins by 1 point.
It'll be
as well.
He would have to get
the pole and lead the most laps.
Yeah,
correct.
He needs them to Wattsman base. Got it.
Pretty close. Now, turn 1 carnage at Long Beach, hairpin carnage at Long Beach.
Never happens.
We've seen
that
before.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
What are the non-zero odds that somebody's in the fountain during the race this week?
Oh.
I mean, Sato's on a streak. You think he could pull it off?
Or Ericsson. Ericsson could ramp into the fountain.
They'll leave him there.
I mean, Ericsson was in the fountain at Detroit. He could go in the one at Long Beach.
All I can see is the people of California losing their shit because we broke their statue or something. We're that guy who walks into a party and breaks something.
Hey, we're not that anal. Cut us some slack. Occasionally.
The people of SoCal, I think, are.
Okay.
Bay Area's chill. The Bay Area's chill. SoCal.
Okay, yeah. I'm here for any and all crapping on Southern California. Go right ahead.
Yeah.
See whatever you want about SoCal. Just leave my half of the state out of it.
I lived in Monterey. It was nice. I went to LA for a weekend. I hated it.
Yep.
Not one of my favorite places.
NorCal or no-cal, baby.
This is the part where I brag that I've been to Laguna Seca.
I did enjoy the beach at Santa Monica when I was in college.
I bet.
Actually, the beach in Monterey is terrible.
Of course it is.
NorCal beaches are cold, man. They're not fun.
It's cold. There's not a lot of waves.
Yep.
If they are, they're about 50 degrees Fahrenheit.
Speaking of waves, Am I the only one that wishes Long Beach still ran up the hill and then went down? What is it, Oceanside?
A little bit,
rather than running down Seaside. Like I always thought when you go back and watch all the classic, Grand Prix and you see them running up the hill and then down Oceanside, that would be a badass shot to see an Indy car climbing the hill.
Yes. That would be spectacular. I don't think you can get to it though.
Yeah, I'm sure it would like 87 endangered turtles and 42.
I think there's roads that don't exist because when they built the aquarium and stuff, where the aquarium got built and then the fountain area got built, and like the racetrack had to kind of work its way around new stuff that was built down there. Because it used to be turn one went the other way. Instead of making the left, it made the right and started to go up the hill and all. But now there's an aquarium there.
There used to be 2 hairpins back in the day.
Correct.
What was it? Queens and some French word that I can't remember right now.
Gaston, like guessing me.
See, I told you.
Do we need Sebastian to make an appearance on this? Are we going to be speaking in French?
No.
Do we need to
there will be
I can butcher French just fine.
No, we shouldn't bring a Frenchman to listen to our awful French.
Yeah. So now this brings me to the next question here, and I'm actually starting to get our picks lined up already for this week because this is a question that everybody will have to answer. What are the odds that Alexander Rossi does not finish in the top 10 in IndyCar Series points this year? Will Rossi finish in the top 10?
Let's take a look.
Where's he at right now?
He is currently 10th.
Wow.
1 point ahead of Rinus VK, 2 points ahead of Takuma Sato, and 18 ahead of Scotty Mack.
So VK has a good race, and after missing an entire race with a broken clavicle and racing like dog meat since, he could finish ahead of the standings, finish ahead of Rossi in points?
That is correct.
Sato.
That's rough.
Sato drives like a professional.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll run this one in alphabetical order. Ben, does Alexander Rossi finish in the top 10 in points?
I'm going to go yes.
Christian?
No.
James?
I don't think.
No.
Jason?
Sure, why not?
Mike?
No.
I am also going to say no. So our panel of experts.
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 Who are you calling an expert, bud?
Every time someone says expert, everyone needs a drink.
We use that term as loose as we can.
Yes. Yeah, we give him less than a 50-50 shot of finishing inside the top 10 in points. What does that say anything about Rossi or Andretti?
I don't think it says anything about Rossi. He's just had the anvil this year.
I don't know. He ran into his teammate. I think that says something about him.
He's had the anvil and then he's been frustrated. And when you're frustrated and you're trying to make something happen, you're not going to make something happen. You're going to overdrive the car. You're going to drive into a teammate. You're going to do something stupid.
So we're going to pin some of this on Rossi. Are we going to pin some of it on Andretti? Or do we just pin this on he now has Hunter Ray's cartoon anvil?
Oh.
That makes for a very, very long career if you're Alexander Rossi.
I think you pinned some of it on Andretti. I mean, he just hasn't had the pace this year, and it's we know Rossi has the pace as a driver, so I mean, you kind of got to put it on the car. But Andretti's results this year have been so out of whack. Like Herta's dominating St. Pete, and Ryan Hunter-Reay's at the back of the field. You know, Herta's doing this, Herta's doing that, and he's just getting beat down by Andretti.
The only Andretti that has had a good year has been Herta.
Yeah, I remember that we talked about that earlier on in the end earlier on in the year. It was like Andretti always seems to have one car that does really well, and the rest of them are just kind of they're just kind of there.
Yeah,
do we start the Andretti shouldn't be a 4-car team narrative?
Well, yeah, they're going to be a 5-car team.
Bless.
I think is that a fair discussion to have? I mean, it's when you look at what performance-wise the teams are doing up front, it seems like the 3-car teams are outperforming the 4-car teams.
Ganassi is a 4-car team, just as a reminder.
Okay.
Sounds like Jimmy Johnson slander. I don't like it.
The 48 is a full-time car. It's shared between 2 drivers, but it's a full-time car.
Yes, it's the sports car of Chip Ganassi Racing's IndyCar program.
Always getting blue flags? Oh!
Yes.
Oh, geez.
We hate sports cars, or at least Ben does anyway.
God.
All right, so okay, let's ask the next question then. What team has outkicked their coverage this season?
Dale Coyne.
You mean Rick Ware Racing?
Dale Coyne with Rick Ware Racing?
Yes.
DCX, RWRX, who the hell knows what other letters we can add?
Ricky
RGA
Coyne.
Esports.
And I think McLaren's had a better year than I expected them to have. They seem to be kicking it into the stands more often than not last year. But how much of that is Pato versus, because Rosenquist has been kind of garbage. Now he did put his car into a wall because he had a stuck throttle, but I don't know how much of McLaren's success is Pato picking that car up and doing things with it that he shouldn't be doing to that car versus McLaren actually like getting their shit together in preparation for full ownership by McLaren at the end of the year. So I think it'll be interesting to see if it continues or if Pato has an off year and therefore McLaren has an off year. But they've been my kind of surprise for sure. They've generally been where they need to be most of the season.
Looking at our 2 championship contenders here, Pato and Alex Palou. This is the sophomore slump year for those 2?
This ain't no slump.
That's
for the rest of IndyCar. I hope it's not, because that is a terrifying thought.
Yes. This is the theoretical second year's never as good. What the hell do they do on the upside from here? Could we see a scenario where Alex Palou forces Scott Dixon out of a ride?
No.
No. I don't think anyone's going to force Dixon out of a ride. I still think Dixon is going to leave whenever he feels like it.
Yeah.
I mean, for God's sakes, he's been with Chip Ganassi forever and ever. And we already know he's a damn good driver. I don't think Chip goes up to him with a contract and he just tells Scott, "Hey, you can sign this if you want to." And Dixon's just okay.
Now I'm wondering if Dixon's looking at his future going, do I still got it anymore? And he's gotten, I don't want to say manhandled by his teammate, but he's kind of gotten manhandled by his teammate. And as far as I'm aware, because I'm so much of an insider, they're treating both of those cars the same. They're not giving favoritism to one or the other. So equal equipment, equal teams. Palou is outperformed him in every aspect this season. Now he's gotten a little bit of the cartoon anvil. I'm wondering if Palouse stole his horseshoe at some point, but
with Dixon, I think after just 1 year of something like this, I think he still comes back next year. I would say maybe if he has another year that's like this, then yeah, maybe he would start looking at it. But I mean, those championships that he's gotten, they haven't all been consecutive. And he's still been strong this season. I mean, he's what, fourth in the points right now?
Yeah,
he's still fourth. Yeah, and all year for Dixon is fourth.
Yeah, right. Like he's sitting in fourth in points with a win, and we're like, oh my God, does Scott not have it anymore? When he's having a better year than most other guys like Ray Hall on a regular basis.
A better year than Rossi.
Yeah, like that's just how much of a cheat code Scott Dixon.
Christian, you said something that I didn't comprehend until just now. Dixon's never gone back to back in a championship. 2003, 2008, 13, 15, 18, 20. He's never gone back to back in a championship. That's.
So you're telling me Scott Dixon has 17 more championships to win then? He's just going to keep hanging around.
Probably.
Lord, don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
I honestly think Dixon is going to be part of Chip Ganassi, like Mario Andretti was with Newman Haas.
Yeah, he's going to be the Jeff Gordon of Chip Ganassi. Like, we know Gordon is primed to take over from Hendrick. I have a sneaking. I'm putting it on the record now, just like I called Pelot to win the championship after Barber.
Would you let it go already?
I can't let that go.
No, let him get one up.
And now you are the Oracle.
He called that shit. He called that shit from the jump.
So
only expert on our panel of experts, apparently.
It's been a sweaty last 3 or 4 races, though.
I say so when Rosenquist yard sales Pelot at turn 1 next weekend, we need a camera on you during that moment, yeah, Mr. Owens.
You think Rosenquist is going to qualify in the top 12?
Oh, he'll accidentally have another stuck throttle.
You don't have to be
accidentally.
Turn 1 first.
That's true.
Have you ever done bottom split at Long Beach, Jason?
Brakes. Who needs those?
Fair, very fair.
Okay, so we're already approaching the half-hour mark into the show here. So let's turn our focus to this weekend at Long Beach. One of the, I would say, crown jewels of the sport. It's not as prestigious as the 500, obviously. Is Long Beach the number 2 most prestigious race on the circuit, though?
I think it's a distant second, but it is second in my mind.
I'd say so.
I agree.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
It's historic. It's got the racing is, I say usually only because Long Beach has been on the calendar for so long. It's usually got fantastic racing. I mean,
well, Christian, not only that, but where else has Andre Ribeiro won a Pro-Am race?
Yes.
My man.
Now, granted, the track has gone through multiple configurations over the history, but basically the start-finish line has been the same. You join a list of winners that includes Clay Regazzoni, Mario Andretti in F1 and IndyCar, Carlos Reutemann, Gilles Villeneuve, Nelson Piquet, Alan Jones, Niki Lauda, John Watson. That's just the F1 races. The slouches don't win here.
What about Hinchcliffe?
All right. So actually, no, I shouldn't say that because Mike Conway has a win.
That was pre-injury Hinch, though. Like, there's an alternate universe where Hinch never gets a mileaged out suspension piece through his femoral artery.
He won in 2017.
I know it doesn't help my narrative, though, Mike.
Well, no, but wasn't Hinch's wreck in 2017?
No, it's in 15.
That was in 15.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that
it
was
was
like
yeah.
Bourdais that was 17, right?
Yes, yeah, that's correct. Bourdais was 17.
Hinch won after his injury.
I believe that's his only win post-injury.
Why you gotta harsh my
actually.
narrative there, Mike?
never let facts get in the way of a good story. Come on.
Now, okay, Takuma Sato is a race winner at Long Beach.
He's
And
also won 2 500s.
And Mike Conway has
as
2.
well. Yeah.
Mike Conway has 2 wins at Long Beach.
Doesn't Conway have like? Here's the thing. Like, I was always a Mike Conway fan on street courses. Doesn't he also have 1 or 2 Detroit wins as well? Like, for whatever reason, I always felt Conway was like really good on the street course. I may have just imagined that, but I'm gonna go look it up right now.
He does have a win at Detroit, and he has a win at Toronto.
See, I don't know why, but for whatever reason, Conway and street courses work.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. A lot of drivers have that. I know
Yeah,
Vettel
there's-
has that. Vettel
There's
has
some drivers where it just jives for them a lot better than other places. By the way, Hinch's last win was Iowa in 2018, so post his last Long Beach win. And then that was his last win and second or third to last podium. He had a podium at Iowa in 19 and Nashville this year.
That's
Well, I was
too
going to say,
bad.
how about
Iowa's the
Hinch isn't
second
going to be
most
driving in
important.
Iowa next year. Like,
And they have to find a way for that.
8?
I like that we've all just called his career over. No announcements, nothing official. We're just like, nope, he's not driving next year.
I don't think he's driving for Andretti.
Are you saying Hinch's
I
career is
swear
as dead as the
experts.
rabbit that Herta hit?
Oh, poor bunny.
that poor rabbit. I was watching with my son, and that rabbit, like, half of it bounced up at the pavement, and my son looked at me and he goes, well, that's not good, Dad.
Man,
We just point out, I don't know, we've pointed it out in other conversations we've had about it. NBC got the onboard, said, nope, not good enough, and went and found a camera angle with better precision of this rabbit running across the track
Okay, wait, hold on.
before being absolutely eviscerated.
That camera was so zoomed in digitally after the fact that there is no way to discern what he actually hit if it wasn't for the onboard. I mean, they went like full 480p resolution.
They had a targeting graphic for it.
Yeah, it was like Zapruder. We actually should make the new logo, like the secondary logo of Pizza at the Pagoda, whatever shape that poor rabbit made.
Oh,
Baby.
Jason.
Oh,
No. Lord.
Hey, I'll put it on my car. I'll put it on my car.
Of course you would. You're evil.
Oh God.
could be.
Oh.
Rabbit's delicious.
I would take
I don't
some,
like where we're going with this.
I would take some like nice shredded slow cooked rabbit on a pizza.
Yeah,
Heck yeah.
Maybe
I
for the
enjoy
French.
it. Enjoy a good wrap. They're good
For
eating.
the French it is, but you know. Oh. But the rest of
Hey,
the
at least we're not talking about the W series this week. We're just talking about Pizza Rabbit.
All right, moving on before Mike gets going. Moving on.
I've only had one beer. I'm very
His eyes just lit up.
Restrained.
He was like, "Oh." All right.
I'm going to say this without any data, but this is also one of those races where your qualifying performance is really going to dictate how your week shakes out. Now, no, never mind. I'm fucking wrong.
Um,
Pretty
I said that without data. I'm like, that seems like a reasonable thing to say. 2014, Conway qualified 17th and won the damn thing. So, yep, I'm an expert.
I can't believe we do this every week. My God.
I can't believe people listen to this.
That's the one that floors me. Any idiot can talk into a microphone, as we prove. It takes a special kind of idiot to listen to it, though.
The only people listening to this are wives and parents.
My
we
wife
just
does
call
not
the
listen to
listeners
this.
at home and
Yes, yes, we did.
Oh, that's
you know what? There's a lot worse things we could call them. We could call them sports car fans.
No, only Ben calls them that.
Oh, okay. So, looking ahead here, willpower is obviously good at Long Beach. Ryan Hunter-Reay has a win here. Sato, Dixon, Pagano. What are we thinking here? Is this going to be this weekend's sort of unique in that it's only a two-man race for the championship. Normally, this race runs in April and it's early season. There's still a lot of variables in play here. The weather is going to be markedly different than what they see in April. There's so much that comes into this. Is it a new racetrack? No, but there's a lot of new feel to what this weekend's going to be.
Please tell me it rains. Please.
Have they ever raced in the rain at Long Beach?
It should.
My date would love for it to rain. Let me guarantee you that. We could use the rain.
Let's look at the weather. It's going to be sunny. Surprise, it's going to be sunny.
You don't say.
I was going to say,
Long
Long Beach.
Shocker. It's going to be sunny in Long Beach.
So,
yes.
Looking at some data, because we're experts, our two championship contenders have never actually raced. All right, so our two reasonable championship contenders of the three total, Pato's only raced here once, and he finished with Carlin, and he finished 12th down a lap. And Polo hasn't raced here at all, and Newgarden's had some pretty good results here. Is this the race that blows up Jason's prediction?
So you're saying there's a chance?
I'm throwing it out there.
Parade would surprise me. This turned into some sort of Pagano power show.
Yeah.
It up.
But wasn't the narrative going into Laguna Seca that Pelot didn't have any experience there either?
I think that was the narrative in Portland as well.
Yeah, like he's been there once, and the dude's like on podium. So I don't know.
I think there's a big difference between running a place like Portland or Laguna Seca and running Long Beach, though. The only street course, I would imagine that the only street courses I can think of that Pelot would have ever run would be Detroit earlier this season, Macau, and Poe, maybe.
You know, this dude has more sim seat time in the last 2 weeks on Long Beach than I have in the last 2 years. Come on.
That's because you can't drive on road courses, though.
God damn. That man had a family. Good Lord.
So since Newgarden's moved to Penske, he's finished Long Beach 3rd, 7th, 2nd. 3rd, 7th, 2nd. 2020 was a wash. So, and everything before that doesn't count because he was Ed Carpenter and he generally sucked. But yeah, he's even then he had, a couple of top 10s. So Newgarden's pretty handy around there. Penske as an organization is pretty handy around Long Beach. I think they're going to give him the best chance possible to find all 54 points. Is he going to do it? No, but 2015, Juan Pablo Montoya was a lock for the championship, and Dixon won the damn thing. So this is IndyCar. Chaos Monkey rules here.
I would be surprised if we saw the Penske parade at Long Beach and Pelot just said, you know what, I'm absolutely fine with finishing 9th and winning the title. If he is Dixon 2.0, he'll be fine with P11 or 12 and title.
there's another name that comes to my mind on that team. How many years did Jimmy Johnson go to Homestead with, I have to finish 23rd or better? I have to finish 29th or better. That's going to be a big resource for Palou to lean on, to say, hey, just chill. You're right where you need to be. If he's 12th in practice and 12th in qualifying, he doesn't need to do anything else.
Can we talk about how Jeff Gordon's the real 7-time?
No.
Okay, that's fine. He is.
I'll talk about it.
Yeah. I will die on the Jimmy
Christian,
Johnson
you know
show.
I'm right. That bullshit Chase bullshit.
My man.
It's bullshit, but it's the rules of this series, and alternate timelines don't exist. So
He won it 7 times.
In the rules of the series as it existed, he's won it 7 times. His championships are valid. Just because we don't like how he won his championships doesn't mean that his championships are more or less any valid because we don't like how he won them. He still won them to the rules of the series. And you guys just got me defending Jimmy Johnson on this podcast.
that was actually what I was going
What are you
for.
doing?
Blue flag, Mike. Blue flag.
Coming
This is my
soon.
role. I am the Jimmy Johnson stand here.
Coming soon to the NRN podcast, Alternate History with Jason Owens, Christian Jasper, and Ben Carswell.
That's the thing, though. Like, it's not a knock on Jimmy. He won by the rules. It's totally a knock on NASCAR for trying to manufacture bullshit because their rules package took away from racing on the track, and they thought they needed to artificially inflate this. We got to excite people in the last 12 races. Right? Like, no, like, excite people all year long. It's like stage racing bullshit. It's artificially manufactured.
If there's something that rednecks enjoy, it's things that are artificially inflated. So just give them that, okay?
I appreciate that as a Virginia resident.
All right.
You guys talk like there's no rednecks in the Coke lot on Memorial Day weekend.
It's all rednecks.
Isn't that just the Coke lot?
Yeah, but they're not real rednecks. I'm from the South. We have Christian
no,
and I know the
real rednecks. I've never been to the 500. I can guarantee you the Coke lot is full of real rednecks.
They don't count.
The Coke lot is probably a 50-50 chance to secede from the union on race day, guys. Like, come on now.
The Confederate States of the Coke lot.
Oh, bless.
And anybody that says anything else has never been to the Coke lot.
We are getting way off the rails.
So much for keeping it tight, everyone.
Yeah, we are.
It's not my fault for once.
No, we're keeping it tight as a bag of grease in the Coke lot on the Monday after the race.
That is a deep cut.
We gotta go.
All right. Let's do this.
IndyCar at Long Beach.
Let's start reviewing our picks from last weekend. Because by the time we get through picks, we may hit 90 minutes at the rate we're going.
Our expert picks.
Yes, our expert picks. We will kick things off with the Jimmy Johnson watch.
Career best IndyCar finish, guys.
I was really, really hopeful at about the midpoint of that race that something stupid was going to happen and I would look like a genius, but it didn't. So Jimmy Johnson did not score a top 10 finish. Congratulations to Ben Carswell, who picked Jimmy Johnson to finish 17th, and that is exactly what he did. Not Ben's only win of the weekend either. We'll go, actually, since we're going to mention that, we'll go to the anchovies of the week. Ben had Takuma Sato as his anchovy. Well done. You went 2 for 3. It's almost like you write about this stuff. James, you were so close, brother. So close. You had Alexander Rossi, who, quite frankly, he won big smooth move of the race this past weekend, but not quite close enough to get you the win there. Jason had Felix Rosenquist, who came home in the 19th position. Mike had James Hinchcliffe, who finished 20th. And we'll just ignore my pick of Joseph Newgarden, who came home 7th.
Other than your pick, those are actually really good.
Yeah,
They all
outside
pretty
of
much
mine.
hit the nail on the head.
We're getting better. It took us a season.
Fairly expert of us, I would say.
Everybody drink. All right, let's move to our race winner picks here. Ben had Marcus Ericsson pegged for the win. Ericsson coming home with a solid 6th place finish. Not a bad run for Ericsson. James, you are the man, brother. Will Power coming home 26th. You are going to die on that hill, though, man. I you know what?
I mean,
he picked a hill to die on, and damn it, he's rabbit stew on that. That hill.
He was like right there until another plastic mechanical issue. I'm not even surprised at this rate. I'm used to it. It's like, oh, look, he's doing good. Oh, no, another mechanic gremlin, of course.
James, you sound like you need a hug.
I've been a Will Power fan for 10 years. You're goddamn right I need a hug.
He needs a horse tranquilizer. Jason picked Scott Dixon for the race win. Looking good until he got Sato'd. And
can we talk about, though? I believe I almost picked Pillow, but I didn't want to jinx my championship pick. So I'm just going to throw that out there.
You don't get any credit for that, Jason.
No.
Alternate history with Jason Owens coming soon to a podcast near you.
I don't get to play the long game here.
Yeah. So I took Pato Award, who came home 5th, and that was leader in the clubhouse until Roman Grosjean started doing angry French things. And Mike McCullen gets the win on the week. Congratulations, Mike. The blue flag is, well, I would say almost a checkered flag, but that means you're still a lap down, so blue flag it. What do we make of Joseph Newgarden's strategy call here to pit early? Only driver inside the top 15 to make 4 stops at Laguna Seca this past weekend. Did Penske screw the pooch on that?
I feel like that was a gamble call. They were probably banking on another yellow.
Yeah, you got to take a risk. I think that's where their heads are at too. They didn't think it was going to go as clean as it did. I don't think anyone expected it to be as clean as it was.
Yeah.
Only one caution for Rossi running into his teammate is actually really surprising. I really thought there was going to be more. And it is surprising there was more because there was multiple incidents at the corkscrew that were like, how was that not a caution?
Hey, as much as we've excoriated IndyCar race control this season for dumb calls, the fact that when those spins happened, when those contact incidents happened, they gave it a breath before immediately throwing the caution and let it clear was the right call. They did the right thing in those incidents this week. And I've given them a hard time other races this good Lord, this year. They did the right thing this weekend. I thought it was a fairly well officiated race overall.
It's always good when the refs put the whistle away. You hate the ticky-tack holding calls in football. You hate the BS.
Or the lack of holding calls.
The hand checks in basketball and all that kind of stuff. So swallow the whistle and let it play out. And IndyCar did a fantastic job of that this weekend. So I will say they should be commended. Now it's time, however, for us to move on to our picks for the weekend. And we will have 3 again this weekend. We will pick a winner, we will pick a pineapple, and we will pick the driver most likely to end up in the fountain.
Love it.
So we'll start with the loser of the week. And Mike, since you were the winner last week, we will give you first draft pick here. Who is your anchovy of the week this weekend in Long Beach?
Oh, anchovy of the week. Max Chilton.
I don't know what Max Chilton did to deserve that. They had a really nice race.
Have we seen his career?
He trying.
He got smoked
His
by
brother's
Jimmy
better
Johnson
than
this
him.
weekend. That's what he
He
did.
Joe did.
Can I read the list of names that Jimmy Johnson beat? I just want to read the names.
Yes, I'm down for this.
Sato, Power, Rossi, Pastor Neves, Pellet. These are names. He beat them all.
I'm sorry, did you stutter and say Kellett?
No, I didn't stutter. I said Kellett. He beat him.
Okay, he also beat Renus VK, Felix Rosenquist, James Hinchcliffe, Max Chilton, and Callum Islet. Good weekend, Jimmy. Do it again. That's all.
Jimmy looked like he knew what he was doing, and he's looked like that for a couple of weeks now.
He has. He looked extremely. So the thing that I thought was fantastic for Jimmy was when Herta and Pillow were coming up on that gaggle of lapped cars, they did not dispatch him immediately. Worn tires, dirty air, whatever you want to say about it, the fact that he was enough on pace that it took those guys with the pace they had anywhere from 5 to 10 laps to get around him speaks to the fact that he is above the minimal level of competency as an IndyCar driver for a guy that's never driven a downforce car before this year, right? Like,
he was matching race pace at the end. Yeah, he was a lap down, but he was matching race pace. And here you go again. Got me defending Jimmy Johnson.
Twice in one day.
Twice.
Love it.
We've got to find that clip of my epic Jimmy Johnson rant that from an episode when we were testing this thing. And you can play that in the off season, and I am happy to eat the crow about it.
We may have to look for that. We'll find it, just if for no other reason than to bury you with it. Ben, you were second last week, going 2 for 3, so you'll get second draft choice of the Anchovies.
I'm going to go with I'll kill it.
Talk.
I was going to say
he does something dumb.
Oh, you think he goes over and above?
I think he does something not purposely stupid, but more of just kind of dumb.
I know that we like to bag on
just
Kellett
messes
on this
up.
podcast a lot, but has
he
ever done anything really that egregious other than spinning at St. Pete and just getting left there? Like, I can't think of...
he hasn't.
He arca breaks into McLaughlin. He arca breaks into McLaughlin.
Okay, I'll give you that. But Dalton Kellett is the IndyCar Peter principle. Like, he is literally one step above his level of competency, and he's just a guy.
The IndyCar Mendoza line.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
You know what? Alexander Rossi is really close to being the IndyCar Mendoza line here.
Ooh.
No, he's had we're going to call it the Keldoza line from now on in IndyCar.
Yeah, but see, the whole concept of the Mendoza line is it's not like competent enough to be there. It's the guy who's...
It's replacement level.
Correct.
Like if you're looking in baseball or football, it's replacement level players, right? Like,
Correct.
So in my mind, Kellett is a replacement level driver.
I think that may be a fun podcast topic for the off season, because there are some names here that I'm looking at going, yeah. And they're almost top 10 in points that I would say are readily replaceable names.
Rossi?
Well, DeFrancesco is going to have a ride next year, so we're going to have a lot to talk about.
Yes. All right, let's continue with the picks here before we get totally bonsai'd off track again. Christian, you are up next. Who is your anchovy?
Oh, man. I think it will be Graham.
Because of his own doing or because of the cartoon anvil?
His own doing. Like their points battle it's kind of over. You know, it's the end of the year. end of the season rather, and on to the next. And he's had some really, like, he's had some decent results this year, but he's just been kind of not not off of the radar, but not exactly on the radar either.
No, he's 7th in points. He's 21 ahead of Simon Pagino, and he's almost 25 behind Colton Herta for 6th. Short of doing something spectacularly stupid, Graham Rahal's going to finish 7th in points. I can see the late mistake happening that doesn't cost him the spot in points, but yeah, that's not a terrible pick. James, let's move over to you. Who is your anchovy?
I'm gonna give a bit of a hot take and say Pato. Because watching him these last few races is a little concerning me. I feel like he's hardcore overdriving the car and burning the tires alive. And I could see him just pushing a little too much and stuffing it into a barrier, especially trying to make some sort of miracle happen.
That's a good pick. That's a really good pick.
Yeah, it's quite frankly, probably too well thought out for this show, if I'm being completely honest here. But
it almost sounds like an expert.
I know.
Too well thought out for me alone. Jeez.
Obviously, not enough Mountain Dew running through those veins yet. Jason, who's the pick for Pineapple of the Week?
So in 2016, 3 of the bottom 4 were Andretti cars.
Oh, God,
In 2017, 2 of the bottom 3. I'm going to go with an Andretti car as Pineapple of the Week. I would lean towards Ryan Hunter-Reay, but I think he's going to have a really good run in his last race with Andretti. I'm going to go with the surprise pick and say that Colton Herta is going to be the Pineapple of the Week.
I don't think that would be a surprise. We saw Nashville.
I was going to say, we saw what he did at Nashville.
He was fast as hell, but
I could see it.
Yeah, that's I can absolutely see that happening. And I'm going to go kind of similar direction to James here, actually. But if for no other reason than to put the evil on Jason Owens' pick, I'm going to say Alex Palou is Pineapple of the Week.
Come on, Ricky Bobby.
We haven't seen, honestly, this season, have we seen a crack out of Palou or Pato?
Pato?
We've
I know
seen
we have.
We've seen some
We have
overdriving.
Pato.
It's not coming to my mind, or at least not off the top of my head anyway.
The thing that comes to my mind is he murders tires, like Herta murders bunnies.
Oh.
Mike
Sensation.
McCullen will be
Wrong.
wearing a Bunny Killer t-shirt on our live race watch-along this weekend from Long Beach.
Oh my God.
We've got to throw together some stickers
Wait, are
that
we
we can
going to
throw
do
on our
that?
race cars.
That would be fantastic.
Hold on, let's get through picks here. So I've taken Alex Palou. We'll go back. We're just going to do these in alphabetical order now because I'm not trying to remember the order. Ben, who is your race winner this weekend?
Well, I will steal James in advance because I know who it is. I'll go Newgarden of the Penske guys. I think Newgarden's going to do it.
Does he win the championship in the same with the race win?
No.
That is a
No.
crazy long shot.
He wins the race, but not the championship. And
Does
then,
he? Okay. Does he pass Pato for second?
is he
'cause-
15 points behind Pato?
Yep. He's only, but yeah,
Like
15.
that? Is he
17.
exactly?
Yeah. 17.
Oh. Much for IndyCar expert. I don't. That one is a little trickier because I really do think Pato could absolutely royally screw himself here. But I'm I'm gonna go no.
Okay.
I'm gonna go no.
All right,
He
Christian.
doesn't pass either one of them, but he wins the race.
Okay, Christian, who is it? Who's your race winner this weekend?
Well, Ben took my pick. So I'm going to go with Dixon. I think we're gonna see. I think we're gonna see more just methodical craziness from him.
This has been a very un-Dixon-like year. 1 win, 1 pole, 8 top 5s, 11 top 10s. We're used to seeing Dixon more in victory lane.
Watch this race be the beginning of his 2022 championship run.
You shut your whore mouth.
Listen, we know it's possible.
Don't you put
We know
that
he can do
emo
it.
on me.
I don't want him to, but we know he can do it.
Don't speak it into experience. You know he dabbles in the black magic.
Oh my God. He's not the Iceman. He's the methanol man. That's for
He
sure.
sacrificed that bunny on the.
He put bad juju on Colton Herta. Pedro Serrano coming back from wherever he is now. Oh my God.
You Jobu.
Yes. All right, Jason, who's your race winner this weekend? Because we know James is going to pick Willpower.
I was gonna pick Willpower, but I'll be nice to him. I think Pagenaud's gonna pull out a walk-off last race with Penske win this weekend.
Is that his last career win then?
Oh,
Probably. I mean, well, in IndyCar probably, but I think he's going to have a multi-year decorated Daytona. What the hell are we even calling that class anymore? LMDH.
Yeah.
He's going to have a long prototype career.
And
Another 3 to 5 years.
and he'll have a full season next year with Meyershank Racing.
A bold prediction for next year: he wins an oval round with Meyershank.
Too early for that. That'll come next week in the review show. All right, Mike, who is our race winner here?
I think it's going to be Rossi. I think he's going to find some magic this week. He loves Long Beach. It's home for him. He's going to find it. He's going to end the year on a good year and be ready for a good year next year.
Because you said he wouldn't finish top 10 in points earlier in the show. I remember that.
I said he wouldn't finish top 10 in points, but I think he's.
He's not gonna finish on good years, Mike. He's gonna finish on Firestones.
Expert, our leading expert. Mike
Yes,
McCullen.
that's right. Our winner last week.
I'm picking Rossi.
Yes,
I got a feeling.
You know what? I'm going to take Romain Grosjean because this dude has to end up in victory lane this year.
Did you see
He is too much fun at this
podium
point.
celebration from Laguna where everybody was going nuts when he came to the podium?
Yes.
We just addressed that he is a true Frenchman. The podium celebration, takes a swig of the champagne and then he sprays it and then takes another couple of drinks. Like, yep, a Frenchman.
And it's definitely more Finnish than French, but I'll let it slide.
The French like their spike going shit.
That's funny. All right, time for our final picks of the week, and we'll go backwards this time. Mike, who is the driver most likely to end up in the fountain? Please, dear God,
good.
say
I'm
Alexander Rossi.
Nope, I am so glad that I get to pick this, and I'm going to caveat this with I have an insulin pump case signed by this man, but Charlie Kimball is doing one race this year, and I can see him in the fountain.
Lord.
Thanks for stealing my pick, Mike.
That's why I got to go first.
Jason, you're up next.
I'll keep on the insulin pump theme, and I'll say Connor Daly's going to end up in the fountain.
Mother of
Day for
mercy.
diabetics.
Amazing.
Jesus Christ, NRN.
Would there be a more American thing, though, than Connor Daly crash landing an Air Force car into a fountain?
Oh, he would own the shit out of it. And it would be
he would love it.
fantastic.
He would.
Can you imagine the slow-mo when he gets out of the car and the wet mullet is just like shaking in the Southern California breeze?
Takes the helmet off and the mullet's just blowing in the breeze in the
He would make a
fountain.
cologne based off of that.
The Prince Charming and Shrek hair flip.
He would make a new perfume on that. He'd Fleur de Long Beach.
Oh, that's the plot of Still Driven. Somebody like Chris came in. That's the plot of Still Driven.
Yes. All right, James, who's going to end up in the fountain this weekend?
I'm gonna say Dalton Kellett. They finally rescued his car from St. Petersburg, and he goes right out and ends up in the fountain, and everyone leaves him until the start of next season.
He's just the new fountain decoration.
Man,
you break the fountain, you sit in the fountain.
Except the team packs up and just leaves him there. Leaves him in the car. Good to see you, bud.
Wish they could.
Oh, ouch.
Oh, man. All right, Christian, who's it going to be?
I'm going to say Palou, only because literally anything can happen at this point.
You mean in this podcast or in what's left of the season?
Sure.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, Ben, who's it going to be?
Well, I was gonna say Dalton Kellett, but yeah, that.
No, one more foot driver on the table you could take.
Nah, I think I'm gonna go with full power.
Oof.
You're not going to go with the obvious bass in the fountain, Paul?
I
Soggy
wish
French
I
fry.
had, but no, I'm gonna go with full power.
All right.
You're dead to me, Ben.
I think this guy manages to take out a fountain and a fellow Canadian all in one swoop. Because for the love of God, I hope NBC sticks Paul Tracy in the fountain this weekend for the start of the race.
Lord.
James Hinchcliffe is going to be the guy. He'll just jump out of the car, look at PT, and go, "Red gloves rule."
Can we tweet the Fuzzy Koala and ask him to put Tracy in the fountain for the start of the race?
Him in the fountain with like hip waders.
I'm going to go do that right now. I'll be right back, guys.
All right, well, here, let's do that. Let's get out of here because we're now over an hour. So much for us being neat and tidy and bottled up. Should we do a watch along this weekend?
I'm all for that.
We got to come up with the drinking game rules for it.
We will post them this week. I'm thinking bingo cards and a drinking game.
I think a draft for when you have to drink. You have a tier system of progressively ones that will make you drunker.
Are you the FIA? This sounds complicated
I
as
was
shit.
just gonna say.
Right?
No, this is the NASCAR system. Have a draft based on how many
Drinking game
races
playoffs
you've won, and then let's see stages of the drinking game. We could do elimination rounds. What else
God.
could we do?
Oh, he
Take
said
a drink.
playoffs.
Every time they show points as they run.
Yes, you know what? If maybe we'll do that. We'll have a drinking game. We got to get everybody on camera, but we'll show points as they run as like a thing for us on the side of the screen, so we can have that on screen at all times.
You'll have to buy me a camera then.
That's gonna be important. Yeah, no, if we're gonna do this, we got to have anybody who's on it has got to be on camera because reasons.
Okay.
We'll figure these things out. All right, so let's. Oh my God, I am losing my mind over here, people. Let's take a look here at the weekend schedule since IndyCar hasn't posted it on the media site yet. Coming up on Saturday, actually Friday, practice number 1, 6 p.m. in the East. Saturday, 12 noon practice in the East. Both of those are going to be on Peacock. Qualifications Saturday, 3 p.m. That will air on NBCSN. Morning warm-up on Sunday, 12 p.m. on Peacock. And the Grand Prix, the Acura Grand Prix of Long Beach season finale for the 2021 NTT IndyCar Series season will air on NBCSN this Sunday at 3 p.m. With that, we should probably get out of here before we get thrown off of a podcasting platform and or a cease and desist letter from the fine folks at IndyCar. We've made our picks. We will post some information. Keep your eye on the National Racing Network social channels this week. We'll get you all the information on the drinking game and how you can watch along with us for the Acura
Can we
Grand
have
Prix of Long
play
Beach.
along at home for a prize? Like,
You know
We
what?
should have a meeting for this.
I heard there's like a silver crown banner that's the size of a billboard that maybe we could give away.
let's do it. Let's do that. I've got a 15-foot by 15-foot silver crown banner.
No, you
Figure out
don't.
some
That's the
rules.
joke.
yeah.
I
You
am
don't
I
have
am
it
the
yet.
actual owner of a human-sized green flag, and Lord knows I don't see any of those.
I will come up with something. I will come up with a prize pack of some sort here that we will give away to those of somebody that's watching the IndyCar race, unless your buddy's with us, and then we're going to ignore you.
Are there any lightning detection objects you could give away?
Oh man. You know what? Just for that, you can follow along at the Weather Center for your offensively accurate weather information. Coming up October 2nd, the DeWeather Space Program going to kick off. The dedicated intense lightning detection object, or Dildo 1, will take to the skies over eastern Pennsylvania. Thank you for the plug, by the way. That is being launched by Dad Ass. Oh man, I'm forgetting the acronym now. Hold on, I got to pull the graphic up here.
All right, let's just wrap
Yes,
up the recording as well.
Yes, the DeWeather Astronautical something or other. All right, with that, we're actually getting the hell out of here now before we get thrown off of something. For Ben Carswell, Christian Jasper, James Watson, Jason Owens, Mike McCullen, my name is Chris Graham. Been a pleasure to have you along with us here for this dumpster fire of a show. We will see you all this weekend live for the watch along for the Acura Grand Prix of Long Beach. We'll talk to you soon. See you later, everybody.